Hello, my name is Desiree, and this is Burning Waters of the Moon Tarot. I am doing a tarot reading for the energy of Cancer. So today I am using two fire tarots. I'm using Bone Fire Tarot and I'm using the Stone Fire Tarot. Okay, that's right? The bone, no. It's the Bone Stone and the Bone Fire. I'm using two bone tarots, Bone Stone and Fire Tarot. Okay, and Bone Fire. Oh, now that I got that out of the way, let's go ahead and start your reading, Cancer. All right. So remember, this reading is for all Cancer placements, and even if you don't have a planet or a star in Cancer, you still have a house in Cancer. And whether or not we have a planet in Cancer, we can still call on these energies. It's just, it might be easier for some than others to call on the energies, but all it takes is a little bit of practice. And it gets easier with practice. All right, Cancer. Let's see what energies are coming through for you today. This is a smaller deck. This Bone Fire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. I mean, look how tiny it is. It's like a deck of playing cards. All right, Cancer, let's see. Okay, we've got 8 of Swords in reverse. We've got the 9 of Swords. Whoa. And we've got the 3 of Wands. Okay. We've got another 3 at the bottom of the deck. Check out this cool card. This is the 9 of Swords. This card is kind of like the nightmare card, you know, anxiety. And then we've got the 8 of Swords. You have it in reverse, but I'm showing it to you upright. And this card is about being in your own prison, okay? So let me pull from the Bone Stone Tarot, and let's see if we can get some more information on these 3 energies here for you, Cancer. Now, interesting, we don't have any water here, but at the bottom of the deck, we do have some water. We've got the 3 of Cups over here. And so it might be time for you to lean on some friends, okay? Perhaps. Because the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Swords are 2 energies that are a little bit more difficult to deal with. You know, the Swords energies, that's kind of the Swords are a hard suit, and which I don't think it should be that way, you know? All right, I'm gonna need some more room. These cards are a bit big. All right, Cancer, let's see what we got for you. So we've got the 8 of Wands. We've got the 4 of Wands. Ooh, we've got the 4 of Pentacles. What a pretty card this is. Wow, I like that. And you put a skeleton on anything and I will like it. We've got the 9 of Wands. We've got the 3 of Wands. Lots of fire energy down here. We've got the Bruja, or maybe this is Brusha. I think it's Brusha, right? I wonder if that means witch. And then we have the Hermit, 3 of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords. Wow. And so I pulled 9 cards down here at the bottom. I do 3 cards up top, 9 down at the bottom. And the 9 at the bottom that I pulled, the only one that you have in reverse is this Page of Swords here. Okay. So I want to see what this Brusha means, because it's an unnumbered card. Let's see. I just started working with this deck. I think it's pronounced Brusha. So where would this be? 3, the Fool. Oh, there it is, page 144. If you're into numerology, that breaks down to a 9. Okay. Let's see. Okay, the Brusha urges daring, surrender, and authenticity, guiding you through change and self empowerment with divine insight. To benefit from her wisdom, let go of unnecessary patterns, embrace magic, and consider new divination practices or seek help from others. And yours is up, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh, it says she holds the card of temperance in her hand. Okay, so this is a magical person. She is a diviner and advocate for the seeker in times of unassured footing. To receive, you must be willing to sacrifice. The Brusha harnesses the energy of the divination tool and taps into the realms of the unseen to bring forth divine guidance. Okay. All right. So I know what that means now. Ooh, did you hear my cat hiss? It's probably Roxy. She's a hisser. Okay, so Eight of Wands, Four of Wands, Hermit, Four of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Three of Pentacles, Three of Wands, the Brusha, and the Page of Swords. Okay, interesting that we've got 8 and 9 of Swords up here, then we've got the Page of Swords down here. And usually when I do this spread, I usually put a lot more, like the emphasis goes on this first card and the last card that I draw here. So there is something that is vexing you for sure, Cancer. And I feel like we've got the Three of Wands, which is good. We have the Three of Wands, which means that you've got it you have a project and you're working on it. You're getting it off and going. You've put some heart and some soul into this project, and it's going. You know, it's in the water and it's sailing here. And this is right under the Brusha card. Here she is. I don't know if I showed this to you. And the book said that she's holding the Temperance card in her hand. And what that means is that there's got to be some kind of an equilibrium. So I feel like maybe because of this Nine of Swords, Eight of Swords action going on here, there might be some kind of imbalance here, and which is kind of throwing you off. Now, if we look at this Eight of Swords, so we've got lots of movement here. We've got Wands and Hermit. And so I think what this is calling you to do is the situation that you may have found yourself in right now. It can be easily remedied by going within, and that's what the Hermit card is saying here. You're moving really fast, and you've got a lot going on, which is indicative of this Three of Wands here. But we also have the Eight of Wands and the Four of Wands, and that could be causing some of this situation in which you're feeling that you might be feeling like you're caught in this prison. But I think that the situation that you're finding yourself in, it might be a little bit more mental than outwardly, okay? And I think the reason why is because there's just so much action going on. And I think that's why this Bruja came up, or Brusha came up with the Temperance card in her art, is that you've got to focus a little bit more on bringing things into balance. So we do have the Four of Pentacles over here right next to the Four of Wands, and that's good because I feel like there is some stability here. Now, this Four of Pentacles is often thought of the card of like hoarding, maybe being a miser. And you can tell that this is called the Lady of Jewels, and you can see that she has turned into a skeleton, and life has basically passed her by because she has not wanted to go outside. Maybe she was afraid she was going to get robbed. Who knows? Because she has all these jewels. So basically she has this treasure that she's not sharing. And so what the feeling that I'm getting here with our Four of Wands, Four of Pentacles so close to one another is that there might be something that you're focusing on as far as maybe this Three of Wands situation, or maybe the situation of this Eight of Swords in which you kind of put yourself in your own mental prison. you're putting a lot of resources into one thing, but not enough resources into something else, if that makes sense. And again, that's where the temperance comes in, is putting some more equilibrium. We do have under the Nine of Swords, we've got the Four of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, and the Three of Pentacles. And what this is telling me here is that you're focused a lot on maybe action and doing, and maybe you're not putting enough emphasis onto the building aspect, right? Maybe you need to call in a team, because we do have the Three of Pentacles here. And then that's what I was thinking about, the Three of Cups down here, calling in at the bottom of the deck, calling in some help. And the Three of Cups has to deal with emotions. So maybe you need some emotional support, but really it's looking like you need some more support in the endeavor that you're working on. So it's funny, over here, next to the Nine of Wands, we've got the Three of Wands again. So like I said, you've got lots of fire energy, so lots of movement going on, lots of movement and lots of energy. But eventually I feel like this might be causing a little bit of a burnout for you. And that's, what the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords are saying here, is that all this action might be causing a little bit of mental burnout. So we do have the Two of the Three of Wands here. And so that really is that project that you've put so much of your energy into. It's moving, but you're being asked to temper that a little bit and maybe ask for some help. We have you've got your Page of Wands in reverse down here at the bottom of the deck. And the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is someone who's young. He's into knowledge, communication, and he really wants to soak up what's in around him, right? And what I see is that there's an aspect missing here that's causing the unrest of the mind, and you're putting a lot of energy into these projects that you have already sailing. And so the idea, I think, here is to kind of take the load off a little bit, with this temperance here, with this bruja, and call in maybe some help, right? And the bruja, she is a diviner, okay? So perhaps it might be time for you to embrace your magical power, right? Embrace that side of you, and call on, put a petition out there, call for someone to help you, because I get the feeling that you don't exactly know how you can be helped. What could anybody possibly do to help you, right? And oftentimes, when we have a project, we feel like we're the only person who can do it because we're the only one who can do it right. And if we're the only one who can do it right, then how can anybody else possibly help me? It would be like having to train someone. And you're like, well, I might as well do it myself, because it's a lot easier for me to do it myself than to train someone. But if you can take the time to train someone and make, quote unquote, 10 little different yous, you'll have a lot more energy and you won't be as bogged down mentally. Okay, Cancer? So I'm going to go ahead and pull an oracle card for you. And let's just see what we have for you, Cancer. What advice we can get from the oracle, the messenger oracle. Well, I didn't just shuffle in reversals. Sometimes that happens. All right, Cancer, what is the message for our tired Cancer who needs to ask for some help? Oh, be honest. Oh, and that's the art on the box. Look how pretty that is. Look at that third eye. So open. We've got some communication coming out from the mouth, and then we've got the tears coming down of emotion, right? So let's see. Sometimes being honest can be difficult. However, truthfulness can bring clarity and increased understanding. Be honest with yourself. Do not lessen your personal power by accepting an easy or kind lie over a harder and harsher truth. Expect and demand honesty from yourself and those who share your life. And you will not only walk in the light, you will be a light. So, yeah, so be honest with yourself. Are you taking on too much, right? Are you are you overwhelming yourself with a false idea in your head? Okay. And, if you can teach someone to do what you do, perhaps you're teaching a man to fish, right? And then that person can go on and be something great just like you are. So all right, Cancer, that's what I have for you. Let me know if that helped. Let me know if that resonates. If you believe this can help someone, whether they have a placement in Cancer or not, because remember what I said, we all have Cancer in our chart because of the house system. Go ahead and share this video if this will help somebody. That's my mission, to help people. All right, I will see you next video, Cancer. Take care.